Listen, my name, it's not good. It breaks down. I mean, Marshall obviously has something to do with the military, and it's not full of loving kindness. It's full of law and order, isn't it? And possibly killing and war. It's made of the names, the words Mars, Hall. Mars is the god of war, the planet of war, the red planet. God of war. Hall. It's his abode. It's his stronghold. What was Hitler's lair called? It was Wolf Lair or something, wasn't it? You know, is it in the Bavarian? I don't know. Where was it? In the mountains, wasn't it? You know, it's the hall of the mountain king. Fierce, savage king. Frightening man of war. My mum, her best time of her life, she's in Cove, near Farnborough, Hampshire, in England. It's a military town, Farnborough. Aldershot was where the military army was based, the headquarters. Farnborough is the air show. Again, it was really funded, in a sense, by the military, you know, technology going on. It's all for the military. Her youth, I mean, she remembers chap breaking the sound barrier, breaking all the windows in Cove. Yeah, the windows got shattered by this plane going through the sound barrier. At least that's what she told me. I've not heard of confirmation of that from anything else. But I think she's probably right. Yeah, military town, military place. She was Carnival Queen, the beauty queen. Born in a council house, very hard upbringing, very hard. Extremely capable girl, very bright. Tenacious sort of character, temper. Red-headed, Irish, you see, and French. Perhaps the French calmed her down a bit, I don't know. And her youth, well, having been Carnival Queen, of course, all the fellas, wow. And she would go to the officers' mess, the place where they relax in their time off, and she would flirt with just about every fella in the room. She enjoyed being, you know, valued by all. Life was different to the 21st century. I mean, a moral code was still there, whether you were overtly religious or not, and she wasn't, her family weren't. Although her mum was Catholic, suppressed by her dad, who was definitely not Catholic. Yeah, so she had a lovely time. The military was good. The war was good for her. She was given a job in the RAE, the Royal Aircraft Establishment, as an inspector of the, on the production line, inspector, checking that things were up to standard, because she was bright. You didn't waste anyone in a wartime, you see, women or not. So, when it comes to names of the many people she knew, one of them was a Canadian. His name was Marshall. It's a more acceptable first name in North America than it is in England. I only came across two people called Marshall other than myself in my first 40 years there, 40 odd years. And she wanted me called Marshall. And she was in hospital. Dad registered the child's name. But she insisted, no, it's going to be Marshall. And so it is. But the name is not, well, I suppose if you feel you need field marshals in wartime to win the war against evil, well then, yeah, it's a good name. It has a lot to do with marshalling order in our mind, their association. So you could say there's some good side to it. And I always was aware that it must be that people find they're being very formal when they call me Marshall, because it sounds like a surname. But I've been very attached to it, and though I've changed my surname 3 times, first of all I was Clark, then I was Ross because it was my first wife's surname, and I wanted to honour her dad for her, and then Christian because I guess I wanted to honour God, because I'd become Christian, and then Hope because my third wife's name that she'd just adopted by coming into the country a year or 2 earlier was Christine, and it'd been a bit much to be called Christine Christian, so we changed to Hope. And I didn't realise what a lovely name Hope was, really. I mean, I'd got it basically right. I wanted to choose a Christian sounding name without being too overtly religious. And hope seemed to be to hand. Faith, hope and charity. The 3 qualities I'd been aware of, even from secular school-time assemblies. Well, they were Christian assemblies. But the chap who's head of maths, his favourite reading was, but the greatest of these is charity. You know, faith, hope and charity. And charity meaning love, of course. And I guess, in principle, those 3 have been with me, and hope was not particularly dominant. Love was, certainly. And faith was, when I came to believe, I realised the significance of faith, as opposed to knowing, but to have faith and trust in someone, whether it be God or a sweetheart. It's so necessary to the relationship being good. And then it's dawned on me in my transcendent enlightenment, you understand, that hope is the key. For without hope, you would do nothing. And I am come that you might have hope, life eternal. As Jesus says, I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Life eternal. Thank you, Heavenly Father. So I'm sticking with my name. Oh, Richard in the middle, well, that means king. The nearest I can find to a meaning to it is king. Right. Won't throw that away lightly. That sounds rather nice. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.